Hello everybody, I've got another replay for you today. It is Sea Dogs 14 in his Tortise from the two Tier 9 British tank destroyers. He is on Fjords here, east spawn, and he is doing the campy tank destroyer thing and heading to this little peninsula in the southeastern corner of the map. Now the Tortise has the highest DPM in the game, over 3,500. That's before you add in a rammer, or any kind of, I think it's without a crew bonus too, so just like a 75% crew, and no rammer. I could be wrong, but this gun fires incredibly quick. It gets decent penetration for a Tier 9 tank destroyer, 259 pen with its AP ammo, as well as 400 damage to go along with it. And it fires something like every 5 seconds. It's insane. This is a really good gun. The machine itself, as Sea Dogs is trying to look for targets, nothing's really being lit at this point. The machine itself, it's pretty slow. The armor isn't as good as it used to be. And the fact the armor has been power creeped a little bit. But it does have 2,000 health, which is really nice because obviously the more health you have, the more hits you can take before you die. And this thing isn't really going to go anywhere fast. So I think Sea Dogs is doing the smart thing by kind of playing a more patient game here. You can keep the gun active as long as there's stuff to shoot at, and make enemies pay from afar without getting up close where they have a much better chance of hitting his weak spots, like the gigantic cupola on the top right of his tank. Let's see when he zooms out. That's one of the weak spots. But also, if you look at his team composition, it's not a bad idea to be here right now because no one on his team went up to the eastern side of the mountain. There's T62A holding the pass, but usually people get all the way up to A9, and there's a bit of a fight that goes on there. But no one on his team has even attempted to go past where the T62A is. So this peninsula is a decent spot to defend the cap if the enemy do decide to push that region. Now he hasn't had anything to shoot at yet. You can see he's watching that eastern side of the mountain, but so far nothing's materialized, and the T62A will give him a bit of an advance warning before anything's close enough to be spotting him. Scores are 1-1. Both teams have lost one of their Tier 8 scouts. And Sea Dogs still hasn't been able to fire his gun, but ooh, there's an aim. That's 1390. There's a big old hit. Nice little high roll there on the 1390, trying to get another shot in on him. Doesn't look like he'll get one, but he just fired his gun for the first time in the game. That's one of the risks you take when you're in this position, is that everyone dies before you get to shoot. Or by the time you do have shots on things, you might be too late to turn the tide of the engagement. Scores are 1-4 now. We lost 3 tanks in a row, although our T30 was able to kill the enemy T10. We did lose a whole mess of tanks there. And looks like our team is mostly, or Sea Dogs' team I should say, is mostly on the retreat. And is that stuff to shoot at? Ooh, there's a Score T50. We like that, don't we? And look how quick this gun reloads. Oop, there's a 50B. Didn't quite aim that center mass. He is shooting from quite a ways away here, but missed it. There's 50B can get another shot. Sets him on fire. And he blinked out of view, so we're not sure if he used a fire extinguisher. Or he's Tier 10, so he probably should have one. Push one in Centurion. Nothing spotted over there that you can see, but ooh. Ooh, T30. He doesn't know we're here. We still haven't been spotted. We're outside draw range, or the maximum view range at which you can spot enemy tanks, and put another one into the T30. The maximum range at which you can be spotted is 445 meters, and these guys are all at 450 meters away. Scores are 2-7 now. It's not looking good for Sea Dogs and his team as he continues to blind fire. Where that T30 was last spotted. Ooh, E75. They keep driving in front of his gun. Skoda. Wheezy. So many targets. Shoot something. And Sea Dogs is shooting things. There's a Skoda. Puts another hit into him. 350 meters away, but doesn't look like he's in spotting yet. 0 damage critting the Skoda. Scores are 49, but our remaining tanks are getting flanked right now. Bounces off the T-62A. And, oh, this is not good. 6 times we were able to bag a couple more tanks, but now these tanks are in cover from Sea Dog's position. And they are making our friendly tanks pay. And, oh, Sea Dog is spotted. There's an AMX 30B in the base. Takes a hit. This one is the AMX 30B. Takes another hit and bounces a shot. The armor, again, like I said, is used to be. But the AMX 30B was not focusing on Sea Dog, so Sea Dog's able to secure his first kill. There's the 62A. Another bounce off the 62A. That's not fun. But there's a 120 in the open. With a nice old hit into him. And Sea Dog is starting to run low on AP ammo. He does carry a healthy amount of high explosive ammunition. Which is a little bit of a surprise given how quickly this thing does shoot through ammo, and the AP is more than sufficient. Ooh, good hit in that 62A, but he's got his repair kit. And he pulls back into cover. 6 rounds of AP ammo left, 12 APCR, and 13 high explosive. That's a lot of HE. But I don't have one of these things, I'm not in position to criticize. Sea Dogs is outside of the range where it can comfortably spot enemy targets, especially since tank to short view range was nerfed a couple patches back. So he's relying on his teammates to spot for him at this point, or for enemies to make stupid moves like that one. Another shot into the WZ, who repairs his track and takes one more hit from Sea Dog, and Sea Dog is spotted. And it's him against Sea Dog against 6 enemies. This is not looking good. He does have plenty of health left, but there's just a lot of enemy tanks and artillery. Sea Dog's trying to spot something. We're not sure where that Foch or the Centurion 7-1. Oh, there's a 62A. Sea Dog finishes him off with the second kill. He is lit though, and there's Easy, who dies to Sea Dog. Oh, there's Artie. It's a big old hit. And it's the auto-loading artillery, so he'll be visiting us again in about 6 seconds. Okay, it was less than 6 seconds, but 6-second drum reload on the Bat Chat Artie. Sea Dog's now forced to fire APCR. There's only 1 round of AP ammo left. What's going to be next to fall into this trap? 3 kills for Sea Dogs. He's under 1,000 health, and there's 4 enemy tanks. The Centurion spots Sea Dogs, but he's not alone. The Foch is with him. Sea Dogs puts one into the Foch, but the Foch returns fire with a very similar gun. Sea Dogs puts one in the Centurion. Foch seems to know where to shoot him, but there's no one to keep hold. Foch bounces Sea Dog's return fire. Sea Dogs aims at the Foch. One in him, and the Centurion finishes him off. What a heartbreak. Wait till you see how much damage Sea Dog was able to do. He wasn't able to fire his gun for the first, a couple minutes of that game, but he still pulled a crap ton of damage. So this was Sea Dog 14's Ace Mastery in his Tortise. He pulled a high caliber as well as a tank sniper. Tank sniper for causing the highest damage per battle at a distance of 300 meters and hit at least 85% of your shots. High caliber, of course, for causing the most damage in the, at least 20% of the total hit points of the enemy vehicles in damage. This is on a defeat. Wait to see how much damage he did. There it is, 8,433 damage and 3 kills. That was easily the best in that match there. His friendly Q-125 doing over 4,000 was a really nice game for him. But 1,300 base experience for Sea Dogs. Really good shooting too. Fired 28 shots, hit 27, and of those, 22 penned. And surprisingly, even after doing 8,000 damage and having pretty accurate shooting, if he hadn't had a premium account, he would have lost money. But again, just really good job by Sea Dogs of looking at the map and his team composition and his team deployment and putting himself in a spot where he could keep his gun hot. Now, people could argue that a lot of his damage was late. At the same time, 8,000 damage is nothing to sneeze at. And the constraints of his tank, that's not a tank where you want to get too close to the enemy because you do have large obvious weak spots, and the armor best serves you at range. So I thought it was decent positioning by Sea Dogs. It's just too bad that 8,400 damage wasn't enough in this game. So great replay by Sea Dogs. Thank you for sending this into me. I enjoyed much for watching, and I will see you next time.